In 1815, Augustine Haller deeded land for the Union Forge Church and Cemetery near the town of Edinburg, Virginia, and close to the Lance Mill community. This congregation, now associated with a Methodist denomination, drew a lot of its membership from the workers at nearby iron furnaces, which had grown up or in the Union Forge area, hence the community's name, and later from like the Lance Mill community and other communities that existed along Stony Creek near Edinburg. Now, this congregation regularly held what they called big meetings, which were really revivals that were designed to increase the number of attendees and spread the gospel to immigrants who were coming into the area as laborers. The iron furnace required a lot of workers, and a lot of them were people who came from outside of the community and outside of Shenandoah County. There were a lot of people who even came from outside the United States into this area, and then they went to work, and then this church would reach out to them through these big meeting revivals in order to try to draw them into the church community. Now, around 1848, this church that had been built in 1815 unfortunately burned. But a new church was constructed that year, and it is still standing as the kind of framework of the current historic Union Forge Methodist Church. Now, in 1929, this building was dramatically altered during a renovation that was financed by member J.C. Campbell. But the original church was a lot more simple than the current building. It had a single entrance. It did not have a belfry. It did not have any of kind of the auxiliary rooms or anything that are attached to the current church. It was basically a simple rectangular building with 8 windows, 4 on each side, a wood stove, like I said, a single entryway, and then a set of pews inside. This 1925 alteration saw the addition of the belfry, which was actually brought into Edinburg on the railroad and then traveled to church aboard wagons. So a lot of people we know went out to see that because that was kind of a unique thing for this entire piece of the church to arrive already kind of pre-built. Now, this project really shifted the character of this church from kind of this more primitive design that was popular in the county early on, and kind of made it more of a classical house of worship that was really popular during this time of the 20th century. Now, around this, of course, is the Union Forge Cemetery, where a lot of historic members of the community are buried. This is still maintained by the church. It is one of the historic cemeteries or graveyards in this area for this community and kind of really the surrounding areas. In the 1980s, the Durding family did provide money for a new Union Forge Methodist Church building that was built across the street from the historic structure. And what happens basically is that building is used the majority of the time, while the historic church is only used for special occasions, kind of like homecoming services and things like that, where the use of that church adds to kind of the special occasion. So I hope you have enjoyed this history of the Union Forge Methodist Church and its over 200 years of history in Shenandoah County and the Union Forge community and the surrounding areas. If you have, just be sure to hit like on this video. I always appreciate the likes. Provide any feedback in the comments, and hit subscribe if you want to learn more about Shenandoah County and Shenandoah Valley history as it comes out. Again, I hope you enjoy and hope you have a wonderful day.